What's up, guys? Hey, it's been a minute. We have been here and we haven't posted anything because we've been behind the scenes figuring out all kinds of stuff. Um, Figuring out which materials that we wanted to use to pull this thing together. It takes some time. Once we get it apart, we understand Jordan's needs. We understand what the camper needs. We understand all the issues, all that. Then we've got to go back and figure out tubing. I'm going to walk away. Noah, you can hang on to the camera for just a second. I just thought of something um, that we didn't have in the picture, but anyway, we've got our welder set up. Rod's wife had a little bit of a mishap the other day, and unfortunately, she broke her leg. So we are a few days behind because he's been taking care of her. She's got to keep her leg up for 23 hours a day, and I don't even know how to think about that. But anyway, I've seen a lot of questions about how to build a slide floor that's 3/4 of an inch thick and more than 4 feet by, or well, not more than 4 feet, but more than 12 feet long or 8 feet long. Cause let's face it, you can only go to the store and get 4x8 sheets. First of all, let's talk about some plywood. We have 3/8 plywood twice. That will give us our floor thickness that we need. This is a test sample. It's right on where the thickness needs to be. And we've been testing out some different adhesives. We've got an adhesive supplier that takes really great care of us. It's an industrial supplier, so I can't give their information out because they're not going to take your phone call and sell you a tube of adhesive. You got to buy this stuff in good quantities. But anyway, I don't know that we can post links so that you can purchase stuff from us yet. If you need to purchase the glue that I'm going to talk about, just call the store or call the office. Stacy or Noah or me, one of us can take your call. We can figure out what you need and we can ship this stuff to you in small quantities if you want. It's not really something that we're trying to get into. And certainly not right now. We're busy enough, but if you're stuck and you need some adhesive, give us a shout. But what we've found, our 3M supplier, this 3M 5010 polyurethane adhesive is what we're going to go back with. This is structural adhesive. It's highly water resistant adhesive. It's a polyurethane base, and we've tested it on rigid styrofoam going to wood. We've gone plywood to aluminum, and we've done aluminum to aluminum, and we've done plywood to plywood. When we did the styrofoam, we set it up, we clamped it down for a little bit. This stuff you need about 30 minutes clamp time. So that's the only inconvenient part. You've got to figure out how to clamp this, but 30-minute clamp time, 24-hour cure time. We waited probably 12 hours. And I started cranking on the styrofoam, and as you can see, it broke the styrofoam. The glue still got a hold of everything. We did an untreated, unprepped. I didn't do anything. This is a scrap piece of aluminum. We set it up, and I was trying to wiggle and bang and clang, and this 5-pound sledge is what you need to get this piece of aluminum off of this board. And it took a pretty good smack. So again, we didn't prep it. We didn't do anything. We put the material down, we clamped it, and we sent it. I'm checking the back door to make sure Rod didn't coming in. But anyway, he's going to be welding here in a minute. And I've got this. Basically, we're at the point now where the plywood is bending and it's going to break right through this part. It's not going to give this up. And the only thing I've got is some glue. We didn't prep this either. It actually says to sand it, get the mold release off. Plywood's got a mold release on the surface. So if you're doing glue applications like we are, give it a sanding, just some 180, 150 grit with a sander, and then wipe it down before you try to glue any adhesive with it. But that's what's going on. We set this up. We've got screw lines across here. We've got our guide pins. set in. So basically it's an 8-foot sheet of plywood down there. It's a little longer than 4 feet sheet of plywood on here. They're both 3/8. They're going to come together. We're going to put this glue down. It doesn't take a ton. You're only putting a 3mm bead through the end of this. You bring it out, you wiggle it around a little bit, kind of smear it down, get it happy, make sure the guide pins are in place. You've got a 3 to 5 minute work time, which means that it needs to be about where it's going to be. And then you got a 30-minute clamp time. So the way we've got this set up, all of the holes are pre-drilled. They're countersunk in. We're going in with a number 10 screw that's 3/4 of an inch long. So when we bring that down, that's going to screw in. And the only thing the screws are doing is basically applying a uniform clamping pressure over the whole piece. So once we've got this all together, we screw it in, we clamp it together. The glue's spread out nice and evenly. This thing's never going to come apart. We are using marine grade plywood. That gets back into some of the stuff I'm not going to be able to show you, but if you go to one of the big box stores and you look at their plywood, this 3/8 plywood, there's 3 layers or 3 plies. And the center ply is basically a filler to get your thickness. There's hardly any strength here. That's the reason you can bend it so easy. The marine grade plywood is 4 plies. The glue is very water resistant. It's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. So added with the water resistant glue that we're going to use to smash all this together, you end up with a much more rigid product. We've added a smidge more weight to this. It's not enough to worry about. We're doing our roof process. We're actually going to lose weight. We're not going to add weight once we're all done. This is some of the original floor tubing. It's 16th sidewall, 1.5 inch square tubing. We're going to go back with 1/8 inch sidewall, 1.5 inch square tubing. We've got it mocked up over there. We're waiting on Rod to show up so he can weld it in for us, but we're going to double the number of frame pieces that are going in from left to right, or from passenger side to driver side. We're going to double those cross pieces. We're going to bring in these smaller pieces to go nose to tail. That'll tie those in together. And basically we're going to cut the amount of space between the sheets of thin, the 3mm on the bottom, and then there's 2 layers of 3mm on top. We're going to cut that from a 4-foot square down to a 2-foot by 4-foot square. And then we're doing a bunch of other stuff to it too. You'll be able to watch along. So anyway, we've basically got our materials here. We've got our list put together. Rod's walking in now, so I'm going to cut this short and basically give you another update tomorrow once we get into this thing. If you've got any questions, give us a call. Otherwise, we will check you out tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Later.